Here's the realistic MC-2000 stereo system from 1969 we're going to take a look at today. Here's the ad, new for $69, the MC-2000 for $290. Came with 2 speakers, which I don't have. You also got a dust cover, a $15 value. 4-speed garage changer with magnetic cartridge. Rich extruded aluminum front panel with walnut cabinetry. Tuning meter, stereo beacon light. A masterpiece of sensitivity and dependability. I like how they call the RCA cables 2 special cables that let you hook up without misphasing or shorting. There's some of the more detailed specs. You can pause your screen and read those. Looks like it's 15 watts per channel for a total of 30 watts at 8 ohms. Along the front we have our AM/FM tuning dial. You notice it's marked in kilocycles and megacycles. We have a stereo indicator and a tuning strength indicator. We have our selector switch, AM, FM, phono, auxiliary, MC-2000 solid state, pull on-off volume, balance, stereo and mono mode, loudness in or out, high filter in or out, treble control, bass control, headphone jack, notations of stereo, FM, AM solid state, realistic component music system. They made a point out of noting that the dust cover was high enough that you could actually use your record changer with the dust cover on. Stack your records on, start it, and put the dust cover back on. There's nothing on the underside except for some ventilation work and chassis bolts, some feet. Around the back we have our antenna connections, and kind of curious here, when I got this working and tried the FM, I really didn't get anything, and there was no FM internal antenna run out through there and attached to the screw like you'll see a lot of times, and there was no FM clip on the power cord, so I've hooked up an external antenna and run that up the wall where we wouldn't hear anything. And here's our aux in, right and left. In this era that would have been for a tape recorder, reel-to-reel, cassette, 8-track. I'm going to use something else. Let's see, here's our tape out for recording, right and left. Our speakers. 2-amp fuse, that's interesting, I'll talk about that in a minute. And you can see it was made in Japan, although I don't know by whom. Various access screws to get things out, which I have not done yet. Back to the fuse thing. When I got this, it didn't work. Eventually I got right out of looking in there and there was no fuse. Not a broken one, there was no fuse. That's a little concerning because I don't know why it would be missing. But I went to buy a 2-amp fuse and I bought this one. And I put it in there and it just rattled around. It wasn't long enough. So I went back and I bought this one, and it's too long. I couldn't close the cap with it. So I went back and they didn't have any other sizes, and I tried several other hardware stores with no luck. Those seemed to be the basic sizes, and it took a couple of weeks of poking around at various hardware stores as I would see them to find one that was the size in between those, and I came back and I was able to get it to fit in there and work. So at least then we got a little action out of the unit. So as long as we're back here, let's look at the back of the turntable here, the record changer I mean. The selector size. Transit screw there. Looking at the record changer, this is precision crafted professional equipment by Gerard. It's the Gerard 3000 4-speed. It has a Pickering cartridge in it, I found out. We'll look at that here in a second. When I got it, it only had the little single play spindle in it. Hoping to get the automatic features to work, and I went ahead and ordered a full-size spindle for it. Another $16 put into this beast. I know in 1970, Realistic switched to a Realistic Lab 12 changer with a Shure cartridge. Don't know how well you'll be able to see this, or if it'll be in focus, but this is the Pickering cartridge V15AC2. And I had to buy a new stylus for it. When I got this, I'll show you what was in it. When I got it, this was the stylus. Missing the stylus. Broken completely out. So, I was just hoping it wasn't a bad cartridge. So I ordered a replacement stylus from Turntable Needles and it worked fine. Got lucky that it wasn't the cartridge. But it was another $16 put into this little beast. We're tracking at almost 7 grams. We'll try the turntable out here. Probably mentioned that the automatic features, auto return and all of that, do not work. Haven't solved that problem yet. But with the new stylus, the unit sounds pretty good. At least playing it manually. Good sounding unit, and I'm using some pretty poor speakers actually. So when I get the automatic things fixed, I'm going to be very happy with this. Alright, I showed at the back that we had some cables plugged into the aux ports. I'm going to use the little Walkman here just to see if the auxiliary systems work, and they do. At least the inputs. Alright, looking at the radio functions. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it is a lighted dial, although I'd say at least 1 or 2 lights are out here. You can see one coming over there to the left. I do get FM now once I installed an antenna on the back. You got a loudness. tell the difference. Stereo or mono. And the high filter's out there. Treble. Bass. Let's switch to AM. Oh, wait a minute here. Let's look back here. You'll notice our tuning strength indicator works, but the stereo beacon light is out. And boy, it sure is dirty in there. Let's look at AM. Let's see if I get WLW in Cincinnati. A little bit. It's kind of at the distance of my reception.
Guess what? You're extracting more money out of the system.
When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com.
800-281-8770.
Do you have $10,000 or more in federal student?
And I mentioned, I think, in the revival,
my Latino station kind of at the top of the dial. Which I'm probably not going to get any more going up there. Oh boy. A little something. Okay, well, that's the realistic MC-2000 stereo system, or as they call it, the component music system from 1969. It's not completely working unit yet without the turntable parts all fixed up, but at least I've spent some of the money I'm going to have to spend already for the spindle adapter, the new stylus, fuses, and I attached the FM antenna up, so it's kind of a money pit, but I just think it's a very interesting unit and I want to get it working as well as I can. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Bye.